Good morning, everybody. Woo! It is chilly here, and next week is going to be our first week of winter. Longer days. That's a good thing. Who did I miss from the pre-party? I see True Crime Beat made it in. Wendy is present. Hello, Tamara. Kiki, what's up, girlfriend? Oh, Kiki. She said, I'm driving to see my stepmother. She's passing. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. That is horrible. Let me know if you need anything. Toots made it in. Snow's in the house. It looks like the gang is all piling in. And that means the world to me because I know on the YouTube streets, the case of Athena Brownfield isn't the talk of the town, if you know what I mean. In the true crime world, we know there's different genres. You know, this time of year, if you have a cooking channel, everyone's talking about Christmas candy. If you are into video games, it's all about Minecraft, Fortnite, all that stuff. But in the true crime community, we know that this case does not get much coverage. Too bad, so sad, because in my opinion, this case needs to be covered more. It is very hard to do because there is such a strict gag order, and it's disturbing, and it's just wrong on every level. I'm going to get more into that. So here's some updates on our friends. Spoke with Kat yesterday. She was very, very sick and she has COVID. Horrible. She sounded awful when I spoke to her yesterday. I don't mean awful like she's an awful person. She just was sick. I did make contact with our friend Sonia. She's having internet issues. She's she's so mad at AT&T, she could spit fire. So let's have a get well for Kiki's stepmother, our friend Kat, and I guess Sonia's internet. Dang, dang, dang. Every day somebody's getting sick. Everybody, take your vitamins or whatever works. OJ, what are you whining about? Oh my goodness. A couple people came in wanting to know if OJ's going to behave today. Just me turned me onto this channel, Jackson Galaxy, my cat from hell. I've been trying positive reinforcement therapy with OJ. Now, when you hear this video, you're going to hear me talking and my voice sounds totally different. I sound like a cult member. I sound like a cross between Michelle Duggar, Lori Vallow, and Robin Lane. But again, this is positive cat therapy. Are you going to be good kitty or bad kitty today during the show? You did so good yesterday. Now you're knocking things off? Why don't you go play with your toys instead of Mama's stuff? You have all those toys to play with, my kitty. Will you be good, kitty, today? Oh, look at your bow tie. Yeah, that kitty is the best to me. You are purring up a storm. So you're going to be nice today or bad today? Okay, so that was my morning. That's what we talked about. Now he's taking a nap, but he'll get up and stretch in a minute and he'll decide to unplug something or start chewing on cords. That's okay. That's how it goes. He's always got to have a fancy bow tie on. He's so dapper. So dapper. Yes, Nene said, love the bow tie, looking dapper, OJ. He is something else. I have a feeling he will be causing hell real soon. Let's take a second and tell all our friends happy Thursday because it's almost the weekend. Woo! Almost didn't think I was going to make it through this week. Like I was talking about on the show yesterday, I don't know what it is on YouTube in the true crime community, but tensions get real high between turkey time and ho, ho, ho. So I just try to keep my head in the sand as much as possible. Let's go through some comments from the last show and then get to it. Woo! Canvas and Crime just gifted 10 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. I can't keep up today. You guys are giving me a run for my money. Thank goodness OJ's taking a nap. Okay, from our last show, which was 4 months ago, believe it or not, but we have a new update. Emily Potts said so many of these cases get reported and disappear. We can always count on Brooks and OJ to keep us in the loop. Yes, OJ does a lot of research. Thank you for remembering this beautiful little girl. And may that evil woman rot in the bowels of hell for what she's done. Woo, boy. Woo. Ashley Nicole, and I haven't seen her in a while. She needs to come back. She said, poor Athena. She didn't deserve to go through that. She was extremely sick. Yes, she was. Liar, liar, pants on fire, Alysia Adams, when she got called in by the investigators wanting to know, where's Athena? And why is Adina walking around the streets hungry, looking for adults that are supposed to be taking care of her? She said Ivon on Christmas beat her to death. Medical examiner's report said that didn't happen. She was extremely, extremely sick with pneumonia. And when she died at home, Alysia had Ivon go bury her like a stray dog. Sickening. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. In I said child neglect charges too. Wow. Too bad Hawkins County can't seem to ever bring these same charges on crappy parents we are all aware of. And I agree. Now, I will say in this case, Oklahoma charged Ivon too fast. They charged him with first-degree murder based on what Alysia had told them. Then they got the medical examiner's report and realized her account of what happened did not happen. His charges have been reduced to second-degree murder, and I have a feeling those are going to go way down. It's probably going to wind up being tampering with a corpse. He's not getting out of anything. Alysia is now our first-degree murder. We're going to talk about that. Here is the article, if I can find it, that came out. Shauna sent it to me. Thank you, Shauna. ANADARKO, Oklahoma. This is from KFOR. There are new developments inside a Caddo County courtroom surrounding Ivon and Alysia Adams. Seems to me that these two still aren't divorced, even though she had a magical weekend with Bladen. This couple is charged in the disturbing death of 4-year-old Athena Brownfield. You know, and she would have been 5 years old in September. Denying her medical care. After Tuesday's time in court, charges have been modified for both. It has been nearly a year since Brownfield was reported missing after her big sister was found wandering outside their Cyril home. Her remains were found a week later near Rush Springs. The judge was supposed to hear evidence Tuesday in the case against her two caregivers because, as you remember, Ivon and Alysia are not her parents. They were dumped off by her biological mother. And I'm still trying to figure out that familial relationship. I have heard they are sisters. I have heard Jasmine is a cousin. Hell if I know. This family tree pisses me off to no end. Okay, but the preliminary hearing was waived after prosecutors amended the charges against the couple. The day started with an hour of suspenseful waiting and whispering between the DA and the attorneys for Ivon Adams and other people through a door in the back of the courtroom. Multiple people continuously walked in and out of the courtroom during that hour before Judge David Stevens even made an appearance in the room. Ivon sat with an emotionless face, handcuffed. He probably thought he was going to get the DP. He probably thought that's what they were going to ask for. At 10 a.m., Judge Stevens and Ivon's wife, Alysia Adams, finally entered the courtroom. Shortly after that, the courtroom learned Ivon's charges were reduced from first to second-degree murder in the death of 4-year-old Athena Brownfield. Previous court documents show Alysia claimed her husband beat Athena to death on Christmas Day last year. Before I get back to this, let's look at her original statement, because she lied. She lied to the investigators. On January 10th, 2023, 5-year-old AA, who is Athena's older sister, was located wandering near her residence at 225 West Nebraska Avenue by the male person, Macy Turner. Turner called the local police, and Cyril Police Chief Garrett Rainey responded. Athena was forensically interviewed and disclosed she had been home alone and she is tired of being alone. Rainey received a call from one of the caretakers of Athena, Alysia Adams, who asked, "Where's Athena, her 4-year-old sister?" Of course, they explained, "We have found Athena, but not Athena." At that moment, it was learned that Athena was missing. Athena reported she called Alysia Mom and Allie and called Alysia's husband, Ivon, Dad, and Uncle Ivon. Athena and Athena's biological mother, Jasmine Brownfield, left them in the care of Alysia and Ivon approximately 1.5 to 2 years earlier. Alysia and Ivon never took the children to the doctor for checkups and did not enroll them into school. Review of phone records for Alysia and Ivon did not match with what they reported to Flores. On December 26, 2022, between 4:15 and 5:30 in the morning, Ivon's phone records show his phone leaving 225 West Nebraska and traveling to near Rush Springs, Oklahoma. Alysia and Ivon had a previous residence located in that area. On January 12th, Flores re-interviewed Alysia and read her Miranda warning, to which she waived. Alysia confessed that on December 25th, 2022, around midnight that night, Ivon beat Athena and held her up by her arms. She said Athena was not moving and her eyes were barely open. He then laid her on the ground and punched her at least 3 more times in the chest. She never moved after that. This occurred at their residence. Ivon then left around 1 a.m. on December 26th with Athena. When he arrived back, he told Alysia that he buried her near a fence line, and that was next to their old residence in Rush Springs. Okay, we've talked about this many times. Y'all called it. This didn't seem like this happened. And it didn't. Okay, back to the article. Previous court documents show Alysia claimed her husband beat Athena to death on Christmas Day last year. However, the DA said a medical examiner's report found Athena died from acute pneumonia, complicating malnutrition. Ivon also faces charges of child neglect for Athena's sister and unlawful removal of a dead body. Alysia then stood up and now, for the first time, faces first-degree murder charges for allegedly putting Athena in a closet and depriving her of proper nutrition. How sick do you have to be? If you did not want to take care of Adina and Athena, tell Jasmine you're going to have to find a new babysitter because DHS was not involved. So it wasn't like they were getting food stamps or any sort of foster care. They were treating them like stray cats. First degree for putting Athena in a closet and depriving the child of proper nutrition. Sounds to me like Ivon's talking. Also, in addition to the murder charge, she faces charges for obstruction of an officer because she provided false information claiming her husband beat Athena to death. I always wondered when Ivon, and I'm not taking up for Ivon because he did a lot wrong too. But when he was in court in Arizona, when they picked him up, he waived extradition, said, get me back there as soon as possible, because he said, I've got to clear this up. Could you imagine when he was talking to them and they said, Alysia is saying, you beat Athena to death. He knew that didn't happen. Very, very strange. A lot of things led up. Okay? A lot of things led up to Athena's murder. First off, let's go through the who is who. We have in the top left corner, Ivon, the uncle. In orange, in the middle, Alysia, the aunt. Penny, the paternal grandmother. She is Wes Brownfield's mother. Shelley, the maternal grandmother. She is supposedly Jasmine's mother. We have little Athena. Wes is her father. He's got problems of his own, and Jasmine is her biological mom. What you are looking at on this screen, with the exception of Athena, is a group of people, and every one of them failed her. Every one of them. Obviously, Alysia takes the cake. I call her TikTok. You'll find out why. Now, she's one of those that loves the social media. This was a picture that she took in the fall of 2022. I took out all the children's faces except for Athena. Then we get to Christmas. As we know, Athena died on Christmas. But it's not going to stop Alysia from showing her ass to all her friends on social media. December 25th, 2022. I would forget to get a roasting pan to cook my turkey. You also forgot to get Athena out of the closet so she could eat. Then on the 26th, a few hours after the illegal and immoral burial of Athena, laughy face, covering up the nose emojis. December 26th is National Mom Loses Her Mind Over Her House Day. Aren't you funny? Now, as you can see, she changed her name from Adams to Galvin. I love when they get Facebook married, and I love when they get Facebook divorced. You see, if you want to change your name, you got to go to the Social Security office. Facebook doesn't count, but that's all right. We get to December, I believe this is the 29th. Kathy is the best. Showing those damn talons. Look at that. Look at that. Athena is buried like a stray dog, and she's out getting her nails done. Then we have New Year's Eve. Look at her grinning ear to ear, showing off that leg, getting ready to go out with Ivon. Best night at dinner detective. There's her and Ivon. acting like nothing's going on. Athena wasn't ever starved to death in a closet. That resulted in pneumonia that killed her. There's Ivon that buried her. But they're out ringing in 2023. Woo! She says, I have no choice but to make it. I'm somebody's mama. Then she says, I found my calm in the storm and I could not be happier. Life is about to get real good. Here we go. She meets this man named Bladen. All of this happens real fast. She goes down to Moore, Oklahoma with Bladen. They go and see a movie at the Warren Theaters, and she says, best weekend. Best weekend. Then they go to a no-tell motel and look at her again, selfieing it up. He's got him a Coors Light in his hand, and she's making sure to take advantage of that full-length hotel mirror. All right, after the best weekend in Moore, Oklahoma, Bladen gets online on Facebook to profess his love. I just want to tell you how much this weekend meant to me. Best weekend I've ever had. Just one of the many we will have. Life's a rocky road, but we're going to get through this and build something we never thought possible. We got this, baby girl. Thank you for all you've done for me. She gave you a greasy lay at a nasty motel in Moore, Oklahoma. What in the hell are you talking about? It gets crazier and crazier, my friends, and it is absolute depravity. All right, so let's go back to the beginning. Let's look at the timeline of Athena. And remember, this is from roughly a year ago. We know now that Athena was not beaten to death. We know that she actually died from pneumonia attributed from malnutrition.
Just want her home. We're still actively looking for her.
The search for Athena Brownfield takes a tragic turn.
We are not giving up hope.
Remains of a child found.
I don't want anything but my baby, my grandbaby.
Court documents reveal what investigators believe happened to her.
It is the outcome no one wanted. The search for the 4-year-old girl out of Surreal coming to an end 1 week after it started.
We have team coverage tonight. Only on 9, new details about the property where a body believed to be that of little Athena Brownfield was found. But first, we begin with our Felice Romero and a timeline of how this case all unfolded.
The OSBI says this is an active homicide investigation. Court documents allege on December 25th, Ivon Adams beat Athena and then buried her at his former residence in Rush Springs on the 26th.
Okay, again, from the medical examiner's report, we know that she was not beaten to death. We do know that she was buried. That's kind of, in my opinion, a little up in the air as to, did he really bury her or did Alysia? I don't know. I think they're going to have to, I mean, they've moved the preliminary hearing, because I'm not going to be surprised if they don't say, hey, when she found her dead in the closet, she took her out and buried her. I don't know that Ivon would do that. And again, I'm not taking up for him because he was in the house with Athena in the closet. Did he not hear her in there coughing? Did he just think that she was in timeout? What did he think?
Fast forward to January 10th, where Athena's older sister was found wandering near the family's home in Surreal, and Athena was reported missing by the OSBI. Community members pouring into Surreal to help law enforcement on their search the next day.
You know, and bless little Adina, We'll get back to that. Because she's wandering around scared to death, and it was the mail carrier that found her. The mail carrier. Now, on May 22nd, it was reported by Lacey Lowry that she was awarded for her not turning her head the other way. She definitely saw something and said something. Macy Myers just received the Postmaster General Hero Award for helping the older sister of Athena Brownfield, a missing 4-year-old whose body was tragically discovered a week later. Myers was on her route in Cyril back in January when she stopped to check on the 5-year-old who was wandering alone around outside. That simple gesture saved the child's life. Also, it launched an investigation into the girl's proceedings, the status of her missing sister Athena, and the eventual discovery of Athena's body. Macy is grateful that she was in the right place at the right time. Macy and her husband have helped with fundraisers for the care of the 5-year-old. This award is one of the most prestigious honors for postal employees. Well, that is a beautiful gesture. I think they, considering what they charge for postage stamps, and to send a 5-ounce box across the state, they should have put a little cash with that for what she did. But I'm not picking. Where'd it go? Here we go.
On Thursday, January 12th, both of Athena's caregivers their search the next day. On Thursday, January 12th, both of Athena's caregivers, Alysia Adams and Ivon Adams, were arrested, both on child neglect. Ivon also with a murder complaint. The next day, January 13th, OSBI investigators conducting a search on the Adams' former property in Grady County. It wouldn't be until Monday that the OSBI announces it's now considered a recovery operation, which brings us here. A devastating update with remains being found in Rush Springs and taken to the medical examiner to be identified. All of this happening in the course of a week.
We're praying for her family and her relatives and for the investigators who are looking for her.
7 days of searching, hoping for the best and preparing for the worst.
And I first heard, I loaded all 4 of my children up and I started going on the streets with my vehicle, and I said, start saying Athena and look at every little area that you can see.
You know, and I really thought these scumbags just left the girls home alone, whether it was to take one of the other children to cheerleading or band practice, soccer practice, whatever, just some activity. Because as far as we know, Alysia and Ivon's kids were well nourished. They were in a lot of extracurricular activities, but not Adina and Athena. They spent bukus of money, and I have taken out her face, in these pageants for their biological daughter. She eats, but not Adina and Athena. No. So I assumed that Athena just got away from Adina. Not that I'm excusing anyone leaving a 5 and 4-year-old alone. But when the OSBI gave the update that this is going to probably be a recovery, that's what they said, probably going to be a recovery because the dogs were not hitting on anything. They were hitting on nothing. And the extensive search was coming up with nothing.
Search coming to an end at this Rush Springs property, the former residence of Alysia and Ivon Adams. A child's remains being transported to the medical examiner's office to determine their identity.
Why do things like this happen?
At first, we thought that she hadn't been gone very long. And so our hope.
Now, I can help out the minister. I'm going to help him out, okay? Not that I'm a theologist. I didn't graduate from ORU, but I'm going to help him out.
Determine their identity.
Why do things like this happen?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm going to let you know why. This is why. This is why. You see, every adult in this picture cares more about what they've got going on than caring for Athena and Adina. Every one of them. That's why. That's why. And also, in my opinion, I think the story about Ivon beating her to death was to keep Bladen thinking that Bladen, because she's not about to admit to being any part of this. She had to hang on to the new pogo stick.
At first, we thought that she hadn't been gone very long. And so our hope was that we can find her as quickly as possible. But we quickly learned that, we didn't know how long she had been gone.
Court documents say Alysia telling investigators Ivon held Athena up by her arms and beat her on Christmas. The former Marine driving from Surreal to Rush Springs in the early morning hours of December 26th, telling Alysia he buried her near a fence line next to their old property.
We don't have a lot of resources here, being a small town, so we've tried to bring in every option that we have available.
Ivon finally arrested in Arizona on a felony warrant for murder in the first degree in Oklahoma and child neglect, while his estranged wife, Alysia Adams, remains behind bars in Caddo County. The state is now working to get Ivon extradited to Oklahoma. Alysia was arraigned today. She is being held on a $500,000 bond. She is due in court again on March 26th. Feliz Romero, Oklahoma's own.
Now, she's been to court several times. The medical examiner spilled it. Now, as far as Jasmine, she is facing charges too. We're going to look at that in a minute. I understand people's argument with Jasmine. They're like, listen, she couldn't take care of her child. She took her children. So she took her children somewhere where she thought they could be taken care of. That's all fine and good, but don't you check up? Don't you find out what's going on? Don't you make phone calls? Don't you drive, from instead of having chili fries at Eskimo Joe's in Stillwater where she lives with her new pogo stick? Why not drive over there every now and then and check on your own children? Why not set something up legally where that the state of Oklahoma is going to make sure they have nutrition? A medical card, something. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Abby, Jess, the court wouldn't allow cameras in or outside of the room, but like you said, I was there as Alysia Adams faced a judge for the first time. Now, in these court documents released today, we learned that Ivon and Alysia Adams, the caregivers of Athena and her 5-year-old sister, had the girls in their care for 1.5 to 2 years. It says that their biological mom gave her daughters to this couple. Now, Alysia, one of the girls' caregivers, is now facing 2 felony counts of child neglect, one for leaving Athena's 5-year-old sister unsupervised, the second for leaving Athena without protection from her husband, Ivon Adams, who allegedly murdered the 4-year-old little girl.
And in a case like this, I'm glad that they're using the word allegedly, because people were ready to burn him at the stake, and maybe they should, allegedly. You can't just give your children away. You see, there has to be, for doctors, school, dentists, sports, you name it, there has to be some sort of paperwork. Sorry, but we're somewhat of a civilized society. There has to be some sort of paperwork. Now, I understand that Jasmine had a bit of a drug affliction. Does that give an excuse for her or Wes? Because don't forget, Wes is the biological daddy. Let's go back to this cast of characters. The 2 kids are given without paperwork, without any sort of attorney involved, DHS or anything, for 1.5 to 2 years. This is like Candace Wells math. Oh, 1.5, 2 years. Oh, no, I can't keep up with time. So you have Ivon, Alysia, Athena, died on their watch. This wasn't just that they didn't get her to the ER, which they didn't. They just let her die, is what I'm seeing. Because they weren't about, or Alysia wasn't about to present her to the hospital with that type of malnourishment. Penny, how come you didn't try to find your grandchildren? Shelly, you are in very close contact with Alysia. You guys hung out like best friends. How did you not realize that Athena and Adina were not being well taken care of? Wes, what kind of daddy are you that your girls are living with Alysia and Ivon? Jasmine, you dumped them off. And this shit really makes me mad. Don't get me wrong. I love getting my nails done. I love it. Now, I would never get this. So she can spend the type of money to get those talons glued on her and a New Year's Eve dress to go to the murder mystery dinner date with Ivon before she went to Moore, Oklahoma with Bladen. But she can't feed Athena.
$500,000. That's the bond amount that was set today at the Caddo County Courthouse as Alysia Adams faced her fate. If posted, a judge ruled Adams will have to stay in Oklahoma, wear a GPS tracking device, and can't have any contact with witnesses, some of those who may be her own children. The public defender in the case put in an application for a gag order, saying it's impossible to have a fair trial with affidavits floating around social media. OSBI warned the public yesterday that social media rumors could hinder progress. This affidavit released today details what may have happened to Athena Brownfield. It says the caregivers never enrolled Athena's 5-year-old sister in school or took the girls to the doctor. Athena's sister told police when they found her all alone that she was, quote, tired of being alone. It's unclear how long that little girl was left without care. Documents say Alysia confessed to investigators last week that her husband, Ivon Adams, beat and killed Athena on Christmas Day. We're going to keep pushing for answers for a clear timeline of what has happened in this investigation. I reached out to OSBI multiple times today with questions, including how the girls were in the care of the Adams family. We have yet to hear back on those questions.
Gotta be kidding me. Marlena, my friend, she said starving a child is a different kind of evil. Poor baby suffered. Doobie said, thanks, guys. Don't fill up chat. I didn't intend for that. I need prayers throughout the coming days. I'll keep you posted. Oh, honey, you didn't interrupt. That's what friends are for. We got you. We got you. Prayers going up. Crafty Chris said they need to not use the term caregivers. That's why I always say uncaregivers. And yes, Madam Secretary, you're right. Adina is a spunky kid. She kept herself alive eating pancake syrup. She said, I'm tired of being alone. I'm tired of being alone. How sickening.
Now, obviously, we're going to have.
Who exactly was praying? Were they praying that she was alive, or were they praying that they would never find her? That's what I want to know. Because the people in Cyril, Oklahoma, they showed up, they got out, they were searching. Culverts, ditches, drainage, you name it. They were looking everywhere for Athena. That town was turned upside down. Guess who wasn't helping? Guess who wasn't looking? Well, you're looking at the screen. Athena goes without saying because we know she had passed on by then. Penny did show up to a news conference, and the lady at OSBI didn't really give her any sort of respect. She said basically, oh, you're a grandmother, and that's it. That's it. Sarah wants to know how old the other kids are. Okay, Adina was 5 at the time. Athena was 5 at the Athena was 4 at the time. She would have been 5 in September. Adina was 5 at the time, so she's 6 now. I don't know. They look about like 10, 8, 6, and possibly about Athena's age. I'm only just gauging from their height, so I don't know for sure. She doesn't look too cute there, does she? She's not all done up. They should have given her a full shot. She'd want to show her leg. She doesn't look all cute there anymore, does she? This is the kind of selfie she likes to take. There she is in a mirror with Ivon. There she is a few weeks later with Bladen at the No-Tell Motel in Moore, Oklahoma. Then we go to the screen. Woo! I bet she loved when they had to take those big old long nails off.
In Surreal, Ashley Moss, Oklahoma's News 4.
Okay, so as this all transpired and they arrest Ivon, of course, she comes up with the story that Ivon beat her to death. I still think there's a lot more to Alysia, as we have spoke about on all the shows about Athena. There's a lot more going on, because imagine how stunned he was when he got picked up by the popo and he has read his charges by the judge in Arizona, because remember, he got the hell out of Dodge too. He took his 4 children and left. I'm wondering what he thought was going to happen with Adina. I have a feeling he knew Athena wasn't around anymore. Safe to say. Why would he just leave Adina? I've heard rumors, because his mom is on Facebook a lot, that he believed that Shelly was coming to watch Adina. So I don't know when he left, if he left Adina alone or if Alysia was still there. And she said, yeah, go ahead, take the kids, go. I found a new pogo stick and I will, my mom's going to come watch her. And then she just got in a horny sort of way and just left her there by herself to go have her magical weekend. I don't know. It'll all come out. But Bladen, don't think he wasn't contacted by authorities. This is him. He said, I deleted my Facebook due to the threats. Now, I don't know why people were threatening him. He doesn't have anything to do with it, but hey, that's the internet. I have continued to help OSBI in any way possible, and they have stated I'm not a person of interest. This lady said, hi, Bladen, sorry for what you are going through. I clarified this in my latest update as well. It's awful that you were duped. Duped by Alysia, for sure. He replies, thank you for that. I will be okay. As if anybody was losing sleep over him. I can handle the hate. It's the babies I worry about. My heart goes out to Athena's family. All right, somehow he gets duped again. Because as you see right here, commissary order receipt, Bladen Davis, your credit card ending with, and that got blacked out, was charged $70.72 for order number 2484260 you placed for Alysia Adams at Caddo County Detention Center. So while his heart goes out to the babies, in January of 2023, he gets beefaroni money to best weekend of his life. Is he still putting money on her books? I don't know. So they finally nab Ivon.
Brownfield now back in Oklahoma. He was extradited from Arizona today.
His return comes amid a week filled with big developments in this case.
News 9's Jordan Fremstead live in Caddo County, where Adams was booked in about an hour ago. Jordan.
Yeah, that's right, Carl and Amanda.
Yo, Governor Stitt wasn't going to spring for a flight. to get him from Arizona back to Oklahoma. I mean, it is driving distance for sure. Oh no, they wrangled him up in a pickup truck and took him straight in the garage.
Now, we just found out that Adams was booked here into the Caddo County jail. According to the official inmate roster here in Caddo County, he was booked just before 9 o'clock. That's after a 15-hour ride from Maricopa County in Arizona, where he was arrested last week. Now, this all comes right before Athena's funeral was announced this afternoon. January 10th is the day all eyes focused on the Surreal community. A mail carrier found a 5-year-old girl wandering alone. That girl is the sister of Athena Brownfield, the 4-year-old girl who vanished from her Surreal home. 2 days passed, and authorities arrested Athena's caregiver, Alysia Adams, on 2 child neglect complaints. Adams' estranged husband, Ivon Adams, was arrested 900 miles away in Maricopa County, Arizona, for a murder complaint.
We're praying for her family and her relatives and for the investigators who are looking for her.
Athena's community showed up to help find her.
Without y'all, I mean, the first initial search would have been impossible. I appreciate all the hours of no sleep.
Spreading their message of hope.
We are not giving up hope.
While investigators searched the land and waters of Grady County, where the Adams used to live, before finding child remains on January 17th. Court documents reveal the words Alysia confessed to investigators. Adams said Ivon held her up by her arms and beat her on Christmas.
Okay, this in itself, I'm sure, made no sense to the investigators. Held her up by her arms and beat her. All right, so he's only got 2 arms. If he's holding her up by her arms, by Athena's, how's he beating her? Then supposedly, according to Alysia, that didn't work, so then he beat her one more time in the chest. I'm pretty sure by then they already knew this wasn't adding up, but leave it to Oklahoma. They'll slap a charge on somebody just to get them to talk. Because you're going to talk a lot if you get first degree in Oklahoma. You're going to talk because it's a death penalty state.
More than 2 weeks before OSBI reported her missing. Thursday, the news of Athena's funeral appeared online with an obituary that says, Athena loved to color and baby shark. She and her sister were close, joined at the hip. Now people await the return of Ivon Adams, the second part to a story with many questions, few answers, and one grieving community. Now, Adams' wife, Alysia, is already in jail on a $500,000 bond. She is due back in court later this month. Live in Caddo County, Jordan Fremstead, Oklahoma's own News 9.
All right. Again, this is not the taking up for Ivon show, but we want the truth in these cases. We want the truth. And the truth is, according to the doctors, the medical examiner, this fatal beating that Alysia talks about didn't happen. It was neglect, malnourishment. She was left in a closet and succumbed to pneumonia. How sick is that? I mean, just how sick is that? You guys are going on dates, having best weekends. You find a new boyfriend shortly after Athena dies. Go down to Moore, Oklahoma for a magical weekend. Ridiculous. And let me tell you what, she thinks a lot of herself. Here's just a little bit of what she likes to entertain people with on TikTok. If it'll let me play it. Play. I don't know why it won't play. All right, I'll come back to that. I don't know why it won't play. All right, so we get to Jasmine, who is the biological mother. Now, she has been charged, but Wes has not. So I need to know more about why Wes wouldn't get any sort of charges, because everything I have seen, they had joint custody, and she decided to just take them down to Ivon and Alysia's. But she has caught counts of felony child neglect. Now, does she look happy in this mugshot? No. Yeah, she's already out. She's already out. And it took several months to put that together, but, you know, that wasn't really the main concern. I think by this time they'd already figured out that what TikTok Queen told them wasn't the truth.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These hoes don't like me.
She thinks she is something else. Does she not? Does she not? Jenny came in late. She goes, has there been any court updates on the case? Yes. Alysia is now charged with first degree. Ivon has been modified to second degree. And as we heard from the last show, the medical examiner is saying that her tale of events couldn't have happened. She's very self-absorbed. Now, a lot of people have asked many, many times, how exactly do you just drop your kids off? They're not looking for themselves. They want to know how this is legal. So an attorney weighed in on KOCO out of Oklahoma City, and he explains it.
From missing to murdered, Athena Brownfield's caregivers were charged with child neglect and her murder. Now, OSBI says her biological mom is facing 2 felony counts of child neglect by abandonment. Court documents tell us Athena's caregivers, Ivon and Alysia Adams, were taking care of Athena and her sister after their biological mom, Jasmine Brownfield, left the girls with them. Documents say they weren't enrolled in school and they didn't go to the doctor. An attorney who's not affiliated with the case told KOCO back in January that leaving your children with someone isn't necessarily illegal, but it can lead to complications.
Ultimately, you as the parent have the responsibility as that parent legally responsible for your child, and you have to make safe decisions for your child.
So drugs and new pogo stick be damned. If you're going on vacation and you're like, can you please watch the children for a few days? Nothing wrong with that. As long as they're safe people. You're not going to leave them in a crack house. But you're legally responsible. You're legally responsible. Meaning that you have to leave behind ample snacks, a list of doctors. I mean, you know what we used to do when we would leave our kids with a babysitter. But this was a drop-off, never come back.
Parent legally responsible for your child, and you have to make safe decisions for your child. Ideally, if you're going to have a child that's out of your home for a significant amount of time, I mean, you would go through the court and give a legal guardianship to somebody.
Now, the biological mom of the girls faces charges of child neglect in Caddo County, where Ivon and Alysia sit behind bars for the abandonment and murder of Athena. Elise Jones, KOCO 5 News.
So basically just some common sense. You have to make safe decisions for your children. You don't just dump them off like a mutt with fleas, and even that I would not agree with, and never look back. It doesn't work that way. We're not talking about a couple of weeks. We're not talking about a month. This arrangement was going on 2 years. So in 2 years, let's say Jasmine had a horrible addiction. In 2 years, she could have gotten that straightened out. Also, in the time they were there, one of these people, Penny, Shelley, who was in and out of the house, Wes, what did Wes think when he didn't see his little girls? Somebody should have stepped up. But instead, we get a bunch of this crap.
Let me show you exactly how much of a psycho crazy bitch I can be. You think I'm a psycho? Let me show you exactly how much of a psycho crazy bitch I can be. You think I'm a psycho?
She thinks she is something.
You know I'm the face of the city, bitch. That's why you mad. You know I'm the face of the city, bitch. That's why you mad. You know I'm the face of the city, bitch. That's why you mad. You know I'm the face of the.
She's the face of the city, bitch. She lives in Cyril, Oklahoma.
Yeah, hold up, Diddy. Hit him with part 2, son. Yeah, hold up, Diddy. Hit him with part 2, son. Yeah, hold up, Diddy.
I wonder when she was making these videos, going to assume her children were at school being cared for. Was Athena in the closet?
Wait a minute. Who are
you? Soldier Boy, tell.
Wait a minute. Who?
Got to be kidding me.
You know that song that's like Mount Everest ain't got shit on me? Cause I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. Yeah. You know that song that's like Mount Everest ain't got shit on me? Cause I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. Yeah. You know that song that's like Mount
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These hoes don't like me. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These hoes don't like me.
Woke up this morning, had to find my bed. I looked around, this is what I said. Thank you, Lord, for another day. All the blessings just in my way.
What a freak. I don't care who uses TikTok, Snapchat, or whatever. But you know, her children went to school. Could you imagine in this day and age? You're getting your book out of your locker and someone goes, "Hey, your mom thinks she's a rapper. Have you noticed?" She thinks she's some kind of beauty influencer. Puts her kids on TikTok. That wink freaks me out.
I just realized that my love language is being a little sarcastic bitch. I just realized that my love language is being a little sarcastic bitch.
Aren't you so gangster? Cringe. Cringe is what it is. It is. All right, back to the medical examiner. He released, we spoke about this in September, the actual cause of death of Athena, and it wasn't the beating that Alysia said she endured. Bad choice of words, but you know what I mean. He said, no. This is severe malnutrition and pneumonia. As we know, the charges have been, I said new charges, but they've been modified. Because Ivon is now second-degree murder. I have a feeling that's going to get knocked down a couple of notches, just the way the courts do things. Not just here, but everywhere. Because they got to put it in front of a jury. And she is first-degree murder. Now, how do you think those Okie women are going to feel when they give them all the evidence and say, Athena was starved to death in a closet to the point she developed pneumonia? I'm not a nurse. I don't know how that would even happen. She succumbed to it. She got buried. Love you too, Angel.
Tonight, new information on a heartbreaking case we have been following for months. I bet you remember it. The medical examiner releasing the cause of little Athena Brownfield's death. Hard to forget this pretty little face, the little girl found in a shallow grave in Rush Springs after her sister was found alone by a mail carrier where the family last lived in Surreal. It was later discovered Athena and her sister had been left by their mother, and their caretakers had also disappeared. The ME says Athena died from pneumonia and malnutrition. The report says she was in less than the 3rd percentile for weight and stature. It also noted.
Okay, let's listen to this again.
The report says she was in less than the 3rd percentile for weight and stature.
Less than the 3rd percentile for weight and stature. Now, another caregiver who actually took Athena to the doctor, for regular checkups and when she would get a sore throat, those things, her weight and stature were fine. But with Alysia and Ivon, that's how bad she was deprived. Well, thank you so much for the super sticker, Canvas and Crime. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you, thank you. So in a year and a half, 2 years, because they can't keep up with those 6 months of having 2 extra children, so who would know? She suffers like that. And as we spoke about on the show back in September, we said, now hang on. If the medical examiner is saying that she died from pneumonia and she's in the 3rd percentile for weight and stature, then how does Ivon have 1st degree for beating her to death? Well, I guess they were just being time efficient and they were just waiting on the next court hearing, and that's when they modified it and put new charges on Alysia.
It also noted that she had no evidence of physical trauma that would have killed her. Her caretakers at the time she died, Ivon and Alysia, are both charged in connection with her death. They're expected to be in court on October 4th for a prelim hearing. There's currently a gag order in this case.
Well, obviously that got moved from October 4th. The prelim was supposed to be this week, but they still didn't have the prelim because they changed the charges. And since it is sealed, I don't know when the next prelim is going to be. Sick people. I'm going to put the link up and see if anybody wants to come up and give your thoughts on this, because it is just dang disgusting to me. When I think about all this self-absorption, again, we have the adults that were in Athena's life. I believe it, I can't remember who it was that said it in here, that for all we know, Wes might have been paying child support to Jasmine the whole time, not knowing where his kids were. Hence why he doesn't have any charges. He has charges. He definitely has his own problem. But it's not for anything to do with his children. Then we have the turkey. December 25th, 2022. Merry Christmas, y'all. Then I would forget to get a roasting pan to cook my turkey. Then on the 26th, December 26th, National Mom Loses Her Mind Over Her House Day. Well, what about the child you're supposed to be caring for, little Athena, that got buried out by a fence in Rush Springs? Then we probably spend a good $50, if not more, on our talons, but refused to feed Athena. Then we get ourselves a dress, looks like new shoes, to go out for New Year's Eve. Not a care in the world, not even thinking about Athena buried out by a fence in Rush Springs. And by the way, these dinner detective tickets are not cheap. But she said best night at dinner detective. Look at that. Look at that grin. Let me tell you what, she thinks her shit is lined with gold. Then she changes her name from Alysia Adams, as if you can do it that way. If you want a divorce, you got to go to the courthouse. Probably need to get a lawyer. Hell, there's those places that are in shopping centers that'll do it pretty cheap. I have no choice but to make it. I'm somebody's mama. Then it gets real juicy. She found her calm in the storm, and she could not be happier. Well, what is the storm? Because you weren't worried about the storm when you were showing your inner thigh off for New Year's Eve. What's the storm? Then we go to Best Weekend in Moore, Oklahoma. Magical weekend, as she said. It was magic. There she is again. Magical weekend. Take some pictures at the hotel with Bladen, who needs a beer in the morning. That's okay. Bladen must have gotten, woo! His stinger must have been super happy. Just want to tell you how much this weekend meant to me. Best weekend I've ever had. Just one of the many we will have. Life's a rocky road, but we're going to get through this and build something we never thought possible. We got this, baby girl. Thank you for all you've done for me. Well, what did she do? Did she use Ivan's money to pay for the hotel and the tickets to the movie? I think they went and saw the new Avatar. Did she buy you the beer? What all has she done for you? Except for the horizontal boogaloo. What has she done? Then it didn't take the authorities, of course, long to get a hold of Bladen. But I do have good news for Alysia. I do. And for Ivan, that are in the pokey. This was put up by Arkansas Department of Corrections. It's the holiday season, which means it's hooch season in the prison. You know, for some homemade Christmas cheer. This batch was found at the Cummings unit. It's 3 gallons of alcohol in the making. If you're ever offered a glass of prison hooch, we suggest you decline. Hooch is terrible. But some inmates will slam it down, get drunk, and then really sick. You can bet that we'll find more before Santa arrives. Yum, yum, Alysia. Woo! See, so you've got something to look forward to. This time last year, you had 6 children under your roof that I am going to assume, unless you were too busy switching out closets, you were wrapping presents, watching Christmas shows. But look what you have to look forward to this year. Sick. The city did put up a beautiful bench for Athena. Little sister Athena Alexandria Brownfield. There is no footprint too small to leave an imprint on this world. Sweet little Athena, taken from us too soon. Your smile was contagious. Your laugh could fill a room. When God was searching for the most beautiful angel, he found you. Love conquers all. Our shy little butterfly now resting in the arms of Jesus, dancing in the sky. I would put that picture on their toilet hooch, but that's just me. Just disgusting. And I can't wait for everything to be made public so we know what's really going on. Because I still just wonder if she didn't go out and bury her. Well, no, they did say that the pings showed that he left the house and that he was pinged in Rush Springs. So Ivon obviously did bury her, which is horrible, and he's going to serve time for that for sure. Again, we have a woman who would rather have the excitement, which you get plenty of excitement at home, they'd rather have the immoral excitement and the new pogo stick than take care of the blessings they have under their roof. And now the roof she's under is a county jail cell. She's not gonna like it when she gets moved in with Big Bertha after she goes to the big house. No, she's not. Mr. J. Quinn said, I can't believe this one. This is so messed up. Yep. It is. All right, guys, I appreciate you being here for little Athena Brownfield. Thank you so much. That's all I've got. But as new updates come out, again, it is a sealed case. Nobody on social media is talking about what's going on. I mean, they went silent. But as updates come out, we will certainly continue to cover the case of Athena Brownfield because I think there's going to be some more surprises in our future. Thank you, Mod Squad. Actually, today was a pretty calm show considering the subject. And of course, you guys are always calm and cool because, well, you are the best chat and best community on YouTube. Now, we're supposed to have another show this afternoon. I'm not sure if we're going to or not. I've got to get with the guy who said he was going to come on because there's some clips he wants to incorporate. And I need to get those clips first because, well, if they're copyrighted, as you've seen before, they'll shut down the show. Either way, we'll get it done. Whether it's this afternoon or Saturday morning, we will get it done. So come say hi in Discord or one of the Facebook groups. Make sure you're notified because sometimes we just have a pop-up show in the afternoon. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow morning. We're going to be talking about Summer Wells. Unless she is found today, tomorrow will be 2.5 years since Summer disappeared. So again, have a great rest of your Thursday.